Simplified Chaos, Episode 8.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to start leading a more purposeful life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're listening to this, and welcome to Simplified Chaos.
Another episode.
I'm trying to do different introductions so it's not the same thing all the time, but it's morning time here, and I am Jillian, and my co-host is my husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks?
And our now 8-month baby. She was 7 months, and now she's finally 8 months. She is with us right now, sucking on the DEET, getting some good nutrients, and hoping that she falls asleep so we can record this podcast without wire playing, because she loves these
minimal
wires.
interruption.
Yeah. Although it's always nice for a little cackle or giggle in the middle of our podcast.
Absolutely.
Just shows that this is pretty real. I mean, we're on our bedroom floor.
We keep it real.
Where I got Boppy here and, just real life. Nothing fancy,
we're,
guys.
we're amateur podcasters.
We are.
With the dream of being professionals one day. Maybe we'll get there. But in the meantime, the floor suffices. Our little setup here suffices.
I'm grateful for our floor. It's
Absolutely.
very comfortable.
Absolutely. Well, it could be even better chairs, but I'll take what we got.
Who needs chairs, guys? Crisscross applesauce is how you do it.
Hey.
That's the teacher in me.
So what are we getting into today?
Today, this episode is all about self-care. We're going to be discussing what it means to us, why we think it's important, our favorite self-care activities, the benefits personally and the benefits that we have experienced as a couple, and some good resources for you guys.
Word. Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You know what looks really good on you, Nick?
What's that?
Gratitude.
I love gratitude.
You look so sexy in gratitude.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for today?
Our coffee grinder.
Oh.
That thing's badass.
It is.
We are kind of, I'm going to say coffee snobs.
We are.
Yes.
We're high maintenance because once you taste really good, fresh, organic coffee,
yes,
you don't want to go back.
Right. And so I used to think Wawa coffee, and for those of you on the East Coast know what Wawa is, I thought it was the best.
Their subs are pretty good.
Their subs are really good. There's a lot of things I like at Wawa, but I've grown over the years as we become more aware of our coffee, where it comes from, and how to best drink coffee.
We're professionally adulting
yes,
now.
We are. So we have a lovely coffee grinder, and it gives us the freshest coffee.
It sure does.
So fresh. And I drink my coffee black. Some people say that might be because I'm a psychopath, but that's not the case. But I like the taste of coffee, and I like to taste the flavors in it. The best way to do that is with a fresh cup with freshly ground coffee. And yes, we use a drip coffee maker. We don't do the Keurig. I don't like the taste of plastic with my coffee.
You can really taste the difference now once you go
100%.
and try it. It's like,
yeah.
I'll drink it if I have to, but it's like, I almost don't. I just want to pass. Sorry, it's not the best cup, so it's like, maybe not.
So sorry, Wawa, your coffee sucks. Our coffee's the best.
To us.
Homemade coffee. So, yeah, that's what I'm grateful for today. Okay. Jilly.
Yes.
What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my beautiful pink lungs.
Ooh. Smoke-free?
Smoke-free lungs. I think I tried cigarettes. I had a phase where I tried it because
cigarettes.
One of my friends that I used to go to parties to in college, she always smoked, and I tried it a couple times, and I was like,
didn't want to be left out when she went outside to go smoke, right?
Man, peer pressure it's real.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was like, this kind of tastes disgusting. And I think I did it again, and I just pretended like I inhaled, and I didn't. I was like, yeah, we're smoking together, but I'm not inhaling.
So this is the first time I've heard this story, so This is what this podcast brings out.
My college partying days.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I am appreciative of my lungs is because, well, she's
got
lungs,
great pipes.
Breathing and speaking.
She's grateful for your lungs, too.
So my movement lately, I don't like to call it working out anymore because I feel like that term workout makes me feel bad if I don't say I got in a workout. So lately I've been calling it movement. So my movement time has been at recess during just playing with the kids. And for anyone who doesn't know, the first time listening, I'm a second grade teacher, and we have recess. We're supposed to have it for like 15 minutes, but I extend it for like 25, 30 minutes because the kids need it.
Yeah, 15 minutes is not enough time for the kids to get out the... No, but they need some time to unwind. I mean, they're just sitting in a classroom.
And they're more productive once
Absolutely.
they get out there and get their energy out. And anyway, so lately I've been playing with the kids, which has been so fun. We've been playing tag, and I will say I feel pretty confident when I'm playing tag with kids because I'm usually never faster than anyone, but I am faster than my second grade students.
I can vouch for that.
But yeah, it's like I get some good sprints in, man, and I'm breathing heavy, and it's I don't really
burning. It's not burning.
No, it's not burning, and I can go a lot further than I thought. Like, my endurance is getting better each time I play tag with the kids, and I'm playing on the monkey bars and climbing on things, and the kids are just like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're on our playground. It's like, guys, adults can play too, right?
Absolutely.
They think it's like so weird when they see adults like on kid stuff. But so yeah, I'm just really grateful for my lungs so that I'm able to run and play with the kids and just do all kinds of fun kid stuff.
It's a good one, Jill. I like it.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's dive into today's topic, which is self-care. This is going to be a fun one. This is not going to follow our traditional format just because I think it's a topic that is very personal for everybody, and it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
It should be different for everybody.
And I think for you and I think there's some similarities, but I think there are some differences, and hopefully we'll cover that today. But I wanted to start off asking you, Jill, because it means something different for everybody. Yes. What does self-care mean to you?
Self-care to me is basically anything that improves the quality and the beauty of my life.
Okay.
And I kind of put self-care into two categories, and I'll dive deeper into that. I have needs, and I have what I like to call awesomes. So there's needs, like my basic needs, and then there's awesomes that make my life even more cooler than it already is.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll talk about that later. But it's pretty much like self-care is just stop settling for basic, and then just so I can be extraordinary and feel extraordinary. And I don't have to feel tired and exhausted and sad and unhappy. Like, that's not normal. Like, to feel sick all the time, or it's just settling for basic. Like, self-care is about feeling your best all the time and doing whatever it takes to do that and not feeling guilty about it.
Okay.
So yeah, just self-care, feeling comfortable about taking care of myself, not thinking about judgment or other people's opinions, because you know your body best. Nobody else does. If you think about it, you're the only one who knows how it feels every day to be you. So why would you listen to anybody else tell you what you should do? They're not living in your body. They never will live in your body. So for me, it's like just doing what you think is best for you, because you know what's best for you.
Right.
It's kind of simple, but I think people think it may be kind of complicated at the same time.
And I think for me, it's a perspective thing.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't have to be something, that you go out of your way to do. It can be something routine. I'll get into what are some of my favorite self-care activities a little bit later. But people, I think it's having appreciation for some of the things and gratitude for some of the things that you may take for granted. And those things can be self-care as well. So for me, I do think that it's just some small things. It doesn't have to be something where you go out of your way that you have to spend a lot of money on, like treat yourself. It doesn't have to be that. But if that is something that's, you want to do and it makes you feel better, then do it. Again, it means a lot of different things for different people. And in preparing for this episode, I was just kind of going through some YouTube videos, and I came across this one that said self-care is BS. And I was very curious because I was like, okay, let's see what this point of view is.
Okay.
Basically, the overall thesis of this person was that it distracted him from responsibilities. So he was like, I wanted to practice self-care playing video games, but then I didn't write my paper that I had to write. And I was like, well, you still have to do your responsibilities. You can't use self-care as an excuse to escape your responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Self-care is something that can be when you have just a few minutes. Self-care doesn't have a time limit. It could be 2 minutes. It could be a half an hour. It can be a half a day, or it could be a whole day. It could be a week. It just depends on what your self-care activities are. But it's not meant to be a distraction from your responsibilities. You have responsibilities in life, and you have to make sure that you're hitting your deadlines at work or at school or what have you. We have a responsibility to our daughter. We have a responsibility to our families, to each other, and we have to continue to do that. We can't use self-care as an excuse not to do things. And I wanted to kind of make that clear because I don't want people to say, well, I'm going to take away from my work or my responsibilities because I need to do something for myself. I need to sit down and play video games, or I need to be on Instagram because that's what self-care means to me.
Well, I also think that self-care can be incorporated into whatever you're doing that's trying to be productive. And I think
absolutely
there are self-care activities that you need to do in order to be more productive. For example, recess. My kids will not be as productive as they could be unless we had that time outside to run around.
Right.
So I think that self-care can also be incorporated throughout what you're doing. If you're trying to get something done, you kind of have to infuse it in there, or else you're not going to be your best self to get that job done.
And I agree with that. And that's kind of my point is the way that his perspective was is he saw it as a distraction from his responsibilities.
Gotcha.
But if you can find a responsible way to integrate it with what you need to get done, then yes, absolutely do that.
I almost want to argue, was video games really a self-care act, or was
It's different for everybody, though.
Was the video games really just a hobby that he enjoyed doing?
And that's we don't know because that's his perspective on it. So I just thought it was a very interesting video. Maybe it was something just to troll people, but I thought it was important to say what it's not as much as what self-care is. And
you're right. It's not me to say what's self-care to somebody else. But I think it shouldn't be used as an excuse. If anything, it should help you do what you want to do.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry. There we go.
So why would you say that self-care is important then?
Because it helps me be a better wife, a better mom, and just an overall kinder, more giving person.
Absolutely.
And, oh man. She's a little squirmy worm right now.
She is. She doesn't want to take a nap today.
Okay.
All right.
So right now I'm putting her on the ground, guys. I know you can't see it. She wants to be exploring. So we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, self-care is, I think our life should be built around our health. And I think self-care is what makes us be the healthiest person. I think we're kind of wrapped in our jobs a lot. And we think our life should revolve around our job. And we say, we don't have time to do this. We don't have time to do that because I'm working all the time. Well, if you think about it, do you think we're alive just to be at our job? Like, is that why we're here? Is that what our purpose is? Just to do our job?
Right.
Like, just to go to work and come home? Like, I think we have it backwards. I think our purpose in life is to thrive and feel the best we can feel. And I think sometimes we forget why we're here.
Right.
Not saying that work's not important, but I feel like when you're your best self and you take care of your body and your mind and your spirit, that you have this positive energy that just is vibrational and it makes change in other people too. So It's not just for you. It can reap benefits and do this ripple effect for other people around you. And I see that and I feel that when there is somebody that takes care of themselves and they are like super happy and positive, and like I feed off that energy and I want to be around that type of person because it makes me want to feel that way too. So I think just our life it should be built around self-care and not our jobs. I think we have it backwards and we keep forgetting that. And we shouldn't be making health and happiness sacrifices just for the sake of others or a company, like no matter how great it might be. And again, like we can't serve others, create or add positive things into the universe unless we're taking exceptional care of ourselves first.
Right. There's a way to build it into your day. You know, obviously we work at least 8 hours a day. Most of us work way more than 8 hours a day because our jobs demand that. But you can build in small breaks within your work day. You can find time to do self-care activities. Like I said, it could be anywhere from 5 minutes to even to a half an hour. You can build that time into your day. Maybe spend a little less time on Facebook or Instagram, social media, or watching TV. You know, one of the best things that we did for us is, you know, going away from cable, cutting the cord. You know, we have YouTube TV and Netflix, but we're not really invested in as many shows anymore because of it. We find more time to do self-care activities because we now don't have something to distract us.
But I think you bring up a great point that people think when they're work, it's just work. But it doesn't have to be just work. It can be, you can infuse activities to take care of yourself while you're at work. Some people think, and I think that's one of the reasons why I changed my wardrobe to be comfortable all the time, because I don't want these tight constricting clothes while I'm at work just saying, oh, these are my work clothes. I can't do anything else in them. No, these clothes are comfortable and flexible so I can move my body and do all of these things throughout the day. So it's not just my work clothes. It's my everyday, daily living, healthy, whatever I want to do clothes. So that way there's no excuses like, oh, I can't work out. I'm in my nice blouse and my nice pants and my nice shoes. Like, I can't get sweaty. No. If I wear clothes that still look good, make me feel sexy, confident, and I can move and do all the things, it's like I can incorporate self-care and my job at the same time. Right. They don't have to be separate, like a separate block for this and a separate block for work. It can be all together.
Well, and I can counter that too, because I come from a work environment where you have to wear business casual, and then for those of you who have to wear business attire, all it takes is packing a pair of sneakers.
I was going to say, my assistant principal, he looks really good and professional, but he packs sneakers so he can walk around and do all the things with the kids.
Absolutely.
And it's brilliant.
So, and it is important. Your work does suck. If you're sitting at your desk for 8-9 hours, you don't get up, or you get up just to use the bathroom a couple of times a day to grab something to eat, and you eat at your desk, it's not healthy, and you can find yourself not being as productive as you possibly could be because you're glued to that chair, you're glued to that screen. Just get up and 15 minutes. Usually most jobs, you have to have a half an hour lunch built in there. And I believe in some states, you're entitled to 2 15-minute breaks in there. Take advantage of that time, people. You can always come back to your work, but it's there for a reason. It's a law in a lot of states, but take that time, get up, refresh your brain. You're going to find that your work is going to actually improve because you're able to incorporate that time for yourself to do something that makes you feel good about yourself, makes you feel better, gets you in the right mindset. So take advantage of it, people.
And what
do it. Just do it.
I'm also finding that a lot of rules that apply to kids should absolutely apply to adults, and we keep forgetting that. Like,
well, we're all humans.
We're a giant kid almost, if you think about it.
We're all humans, and we all are wired the same way.
They say for kids, like, you should have a break every half an hour to move and do whatever you want. That should be this. That's the same for us. Why don't we apply the same rules we do for kids for adults?
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. So guys, what we're trying to say is there is time in the day for self-care. And I think what we get in the next part when we talk a little bit about our favorite self-care activities, I think this is going to be kind of the eye-opener and say, you know what, I didn't realize that this was something that I've been doing that I actually feel good about. This is one of my self-care routines now.
Maybe even motivation to do it more.
Exactly. It is important to practice self-care so that you can be the best person.
Agreed. And maybe
at any given point in your day.
And maybe changing that mindset that instead of revolving your life around work and sprinkling in self-care, maybe change your life around self-care and sprinkle in work instead.
There you go.
Like, change your priorities.
Absolutely. And you have the power to do that. It's going to take a little creative thinking on some people's part.
And
for other people, it's just motivation to do it.
Can I just say that during my breaks, I could be getting stuff done as a teacher because there's always things to do. But instead, I walk laps around my building. And my building is not huge. You've been to my school.
Yeah, it's very small.
I walk laps around my school, and I'm carrying my little cooler that I use to keep all my milk in because I'll just pump. And I'm walking around the school, and people just look at me and smile. And they're like, are you just walking? And I'm like, yeah. So
teachers and students are looking out. There goes crazy Jill again, walking around the school.
And it's like, I don't really care what other people think because it makes me feel good and I'm more productive and I have more energy when I come back. So I've stopped doing work during my breaks just so I can walk or even go outside if it's nice, and I'll do laps around the building. And I don't care who looks at me funny because I know that it makes me feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, it kind of goes back to what I said in the wardrobe thing. Who gives a shit what other people think?
You know you best.
Exactly. Take care of yourself and do what you need to do to make sure you're taken care of. So this is, I think, going to be my favorite part of this, and kind of talking a little bit about our favorite self-care activities. And guys, I want you to definitely pay attention to this because I think I'm going to throw in some things that you would not consider self-care for yourselves, but I think it's going to give you a time to reflect on some of the things that you do and say, you know what? I actually really like doing that. And it could be a chore. It could be a chore that you do around the house. And
I didn't think about that.
There are certain things that I like doing that you may not think of as self-care, but for me, it is.
I like that you'll have a different perspective of self-care.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to hear yours. I'm sorry I'm going away from the mic.
No, it's okay. We're going to have a little meltdown here maybe?
No,
who knows?
we're not.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to edit.
I'm not editing her.
Nah. Well,
be
maybe.
okay.
We'll see. We'll see. She is destroying everything right now.
She's like a mini Godzilla. I like it. Godzilla.
So anyways, so Jill, as you're putting her back on the boob, if she decides to do that or not,
We'll see.
what are some of your favorite self-care activities?
So as I kind of stated in the beginning of the podcast, I kind of realized I had two categories as I was like typing them out on my little Google Notes here. So my first category...
Shout out to Google.
My first category are like my needs, like pretty much needs to survive.
Okay.
So my self-care activities for my needs is movement. So walking in nature, playing at recess, dancing, hiking, anything that involves moving my body. Movement is vital for my health. I need to move. If we're not moving, our muscles aren't developing, there's a lot of benefits from moving. So movement, sleep.
Oh, sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah, you're very regimented with your sleep.
Sleep is vital for our health, and I think a lot of people they underestimate the power of sleep, that our body needs to rest and rejuvenate to be its best self.
Absolutely.
I mean, I go to bed pretty much the same time, like between 9 and 10 every night, and during the week I wake up at 5 o'clock, but even on the weekends, I wake up maybe 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Because my body gets enough sleep. Like,
right.
I'm ready to wake up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and for me, I'm kind of in the same room team. I'm bed between 10:30 and 11, and I've been pretty good at kind of keeping consistent, going to bed, going upstairs at 10:45, starting my evening routine, and then in bed by 11. And then, I wake up now at 6:45 in the morning. I'm going to be waking up earlier because I want to go into work earlier fairly soon. But, even on the weekends, I'm getting up at 7:15. So it's just a half an hour difference. No, I definitely think sleep is important.
So anyway, movement, sleep, fuel. Eating.
Gasoline?
No, fuel for my body, honey.
Okay.
So eating as close to real foods as possible, just doing the best I can. Not striving for perfection, just doing the best we can during the work week, during the weekends, to eat good stuff. Because like I said earlier in our meal planning podcast, input equals output. If I'm putting good things in my body, my output of my energy, my mood, my happiness is going to be as equally as great.
Your poop.
My poop is real, guys. You can judge your health by your poop, but that's for another podcast.
Yes.
Can we podcast about poop?
Sure.
Oh my God, that would be great.
What's in your stool? God, we're getting off track here.
We are.
My bad.
Movement, sleep, fuel, mindset. Holy cow.
Mindset's huge.
So things that help me every day, podcasts, like professional development, just reminding myself how grateful I am, new things that I can learn, helps me be more open-minded, more flexible when other people have differences or different perspectives. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm being very open-minded right now and trying different things with Lucille because she is just not having the tit right now.
I really thought she would be asleep by now. Yes. But I agree. I have a set of podcasts that I listen to, and I think the nice thing is when you find something that's great for development, you'll pass it along to me, and if I find something that's great for development, I'll pass it along to you, and so that we end up listening to some of the same podcasts, even though we have different taste in podcasts, and podcasts are actually one of my self-care things too. It's on my list.
I dig it.
Because I have a long commute. Even, when I was commuting to DC, I had an hour and 20-minute commute. So I could get in maybe 1 or 2 episodes of a podcast each way. So I was listening to 3 or 4 podcasts. Some of it was, I'm really into politics. So some of them were for me learning politics. Some of them are learning, just about, marketing in general. Shout out to Gary V. He's the man. But yeah, no, personal development and podcasts have been a huge part for self-care. So for me, I'm able to practice self-care a lot in the car because I drive a lot. So there is time when you're driving to practice self-care.
I'm just putting her on one teat after the next. We're just going back and forth and experimenting here.
One day, she'll figure it out soon.
So for mindset, also teaching, like being around younger kids, helps me have a better sense of gratitude every day because they see things in completely different eyes.
Right.
Everything is magical to them, and it's so like refreshing to be around kids. They're like, oh, the leaves are changing colors. And it's like, you know what? That is pretty spectacular. We almost forget about the amazing little things in the world because we kind of take them for granted as we're in the hustle bustle of things. Acupuncture. Acupuncture balances the hell out of my chi.
Yeah?
Wow. The power of acupuncture. And I think my acupuncturist makes it that much better because she's like a therapist. But man, I go once a month now and I need it. Like, it forces me to almost meditate and just be still for 1 whole hour because it's difficult to do that at my house.
Right.
So acupuncture, you rock.
So were you going weekly before or did you...
I was going bi-weekly, and now I've kind of changed it to just monthly just to see how I feel. And I think self-care is all about experimenting too, because we're constantly growing and changing. So those activities may change, or how much you do it might change. It's all about experimenting. So right now I'm experimenting just by going once a month to see how my body feels, and I'm doing okay so far.
Yeah. It's been working out.
It's been working out really well. So that was my first category. Those were my needs: movement, sleep, fuel, mindset. I also have a different category that I call them my awesomes.
Ooh. What's your awesomes?
So my awesomes are little things that I do throughout the day that just make me feel happy. They may not be like the healthiest, but they just make me feel good.
Yeah.
So like drinking coffee in the morning by myself, watching the sun come up in our backyard.
See, coffee's another one for me. Like, I'm coffee's on my list, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning in our gratitude segment. Is I love a great cup of coffee, and what we didn't cover in the gratitude part was that, you know, in the mornings, especially on the weekends, you and I sit down on the couch. You know, Lucille's either in her little plaything or whatever we're holding on to her, but we're able to sit down and drink a cup of coffee before
it may not
we get
happen for long once she starts being
that's
mobile.
true, but at least, you know, we get a chance to talk, you know, say what's on our minds. It's just a very relaxing morning. You know, we have very slow Saturdays and Sunday mornings, and it all starts with coffee. It's the first thing that we do every day, and we start the day off with self-care.
Again, I don't need coffee, but it just makes my life more awesome. So it's
enjoy
one of my
it.
awesomes.
Exactly.
Another thing is putting a little bit of makeup on and curling my hair. It makes me feel really awesome.
So I'm gonna play on that, because on mine, haircuts.
You curl your hair too?
No.
You're so
cute. Man, mine's not long enough yet. Maybe if I grow it out.
Get that Jerry curl, babe.
But for me, haircuts is a self-care activity.
I have haircuts on mine too.
Ooh, so since we're talking hair, haircuts are awesome. I go to this place in Baltimore. It's basically a gentleman's place. This place is
It's pretty
awesome.
swaggerish.
I'm just going to throw it in. It's called the QG, the Quintessential Gentleman. And the place is cool. You get haircuts, you can get your shoes shine. You can, you know, there's massages,
Drink
manicures,
alcohol.
pedicures. There's a bar in there. I mean, you show up there and they offer you a beer, coffee, water. And then they have a restaurant up there where you can get amazing cocktails. The place is just awesome. And so once a month, really enjoy the hell getting my haircut. It's an experience, and it's a self-care activity.
Just getting someone else to massage your head and wash it. Man, that one little thing of washing your hair, when someone else does it, it's like, holy cow, this beats me washing my hair any day. But yeah, haircuts is one of mine too. And I think I like that my hair is shorter now because I have to go more frequently, which is awesome to keep the style. So ladies, if you want an excuse to go get your hair done more, if you get your hair cut short, it's like you're forced to go more frequently to keep its shape. So,
and this is one of those things where, I spend a little bit more money on. I don't go to, you know, a hair cuttery or Great Clips or something like that where I can spend $15 on a haircut. I pay for this experience, but I budget it. It's in my budget for the month. It's something that when I'm there, I'm very relaxed. I have great conversation with the guy who cuts my hair all the time, and it's just an overall great experience. And so for me, that's self-care.
And shout out to my girl Trisha. She's my hairstylist, and she's fantastic, and she just had a baby. So hope you're doing well out there, girl. Nice. Anyway, so another awesome is date nights.
On my list too. I fucking love date nights.
Oh my God, date nights. We've been having a lot more date nights at home.
Yes. Which is fine. We have a third wheel, and she is just awesome company.
She is, and I know we're probably going to have a podcast specifically for date nights because it's just that vital in our relationship.
And we're toying about drinking cocktails through that.
Which I think would be awesome.
So definitely want to tune in for that one when that one comes out.
poll and see, like, would you guys hang out with us if we drank cocktails and do a live YouTube podcast all about date nights? I don't know.
We do have the ability to do live YouTube, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do YouTube,
Try it out, maybe.
Instagram, or
See
the
what they think.
Facebooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking YouTube.
Okay.
Put it out to a wider audience.
So yeah, date nights, just visiting coffee shops on the weekend. I love going to a good coffee shop and then just getting a little latte with the beautiful art in the mug. It's just seeing that art and being in a cozy coffee shop and maybe getting some kind of sweet croissant or just sweet baked good. It warms my soul.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. Another awesome that I have on here is watching Chef's Table with you.
That's a good one. I really enjoy Chef's Table.
We don't watch a lot of TV, but
very well done documentary.
they make you appreciate where food comes from so much more.
I agree.
They make you think about where your food comes from. I think sometimes we forget when we're in the supermarket, oh, we're going to get turkey, chicken, eggs, cheese, but we forget where it comes from and to appreciate where it comes from.
Comes from a box, right?
I think that's what's wrong with society now. It's like we forget where our food comes from and we don't have this appreciation for it. And
So do you want to do like Portlandia's first episode and go meet the cow or whatever it is that you're eating?
Oh my God. Awesome. Can we meet where this cow was raised? Can we meet the chicken?
Absolutely.
I mean, I totally would do that.
I know you would.
I would be that
That's why I
parent.
brought it up.
So just watching Chef's Table with you, I really enjoy doing that. Sex is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And it's
Last night in particular was
we're
really nice.
spicing things up,
Yeah.
and I like that. So yeah, sex.
Stay tuned for the sex podcast.
Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Yay! All right. Just hanging around friends and family, just shooting the shit. Just
Absolutely.
having brunch with the girls,
Yeah.
or just going to dinner, or doing like a double date with friends. It's awesome to me. And
Yeah. And it's very easy to plan. Like, shoot a text out to a group of people and say, hey, brunch at my house 3 weeks from now, 11 o'clock. Bring a dish.
not hard, but
Boom.
technology the way it is and texting, it's like you can easily plan something pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getaways and traveling
Love getaways.
fills me back up when we can
Yes.
just get away from home, and it makes you appreciate home a little bit more, I think.
I agree.
It's
But
nice
also,
to
I
get
think we were
away.
talking a little bit last night. It also makes you appreciate more some of the things that you don't have at home either.
True. I think she's getting bored with this necklace she's playing with.
Oh, man.
We'll see.
No, she's back at it.
This is why you don't need baby toys. She's literally just playing with a necklace I had in my room.
But we'll see what happens here.
And the last on my list was just reading. Right now I'm reading Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis.
Okay.
And
Shout out to Rachel Hollis.
I love how honest she is and real, and she's funny as hell, man. So I know that's a lot of awesomes in my self-care list. But those are all the things that really fill me up and make me feel good and make me feel the happiest and healthiest person to like really enjoy living. Like I enjoy waking up every day because I'm excited to do all of these things.
That is awesome.
It is.
So for me, I've got a couple extra that I want to add to your list.
Okay.
Or to our list or my list. Number one is making homemade cocktails. I enjoy making cocktails for not only myself, but for you and guests who want to try a cocktail. And I've got the basics down. Like I can make a mean Manhattan, old fashioned. What was that? Bee's knees. I can do that.
Bee's knees, but you really perfected the gimlet.
The gimlet.
And that's
The
what I
gimlet
had
has
last
been
night.
really good.
Just one will do it too. Like,
Yeah.
I just want one before
You
you eat
love
dinner.
your gin.
And I'm like, yep, that's all I need, guys. Just a teeny bit of a buzz. Just a slight buzz. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, I just learned how to do the gimlet not too long ago. I was listening to another podcast. It's called You're Welcome with Michael Malice, and he had a guy on there who makes his own gin.
That was fun to watch.
It was
that episode on
and he
YouTube.
simulcasts on YouTube as well. So it was really nice to see this guy who is an expert at making cocktails.
He's so
and
passionate
He
about
was
it,
very
too.
passionate and very well spoken and just
Happy
told
guy,
you how
too.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm making a gimlet. And so, yeah, we got the ingredients. And so I love making homemade cocktails.
And I
can go on
benefit
for hours
from that,
about it.
too.
Yes,
So
we
it's-
both do.
It's fun how
Sex
I can
benefits
benefit.
too.
That's true. But I can benefit from the self-care activities that you enjoy.
Absolutely. So in the sports category for me, playing softball is a self-care activity for me. And I coach a team and we play on Sunday nights. We either play at 6 and 7 o'clock or 8 and 9 o'clock. So it's nice to get away for 3 hours and hang out with the guys, shoot the shit. And I play on a team where you have to wear thick skin. We're all over each other, and so it's all part of the fun. You know, we poke fun at each other. It's all in good fun and everything like that. So it's nice where, you know, I can be, you know, guys with guys for a little bit and just, you know, shoot the shit. I live in a house full of women.
It's true.
I have girl dogs. I've got, you know, just women everywhere. So
it's a way for you to get some movement in too. Like, not only you hanging with the guys, but like you're running and playing, and you know, it's cool.
Yep. The other thing is sports. You know, I love watching sports. Caps, Orioles, Ravens, sometimes the Wizards.
I'm excited to go to a Caps game.
Yeah,
Hockey.
we're going tonight.
I'm excited for that.
Yes. That's actually we went to a Caps game last year while you were pregnant, and that was the first time I felt Lucille kick in your tummy.
That was pretty magical.
It was awesome, and then she was born the day the Caps won the Stanley Cup. So, pretty magical year.
It's hard to forget her birthday.
It was awesome. Yeah, no, never
Especially
forgetting
for
that.
you.
Yeah, it's really easy. She was born 2 hours before the game. Didn't interrupt Papa watching.
I can't imagine what you would have done if, yeah, it was like, what are you going to choose? Watching your baby be born or watching the Caps? I don't know. Oh, jeez.
TV would have been on.
Thank goodness that didn't happen.
I know.
It could have been a war.
Nice job, Lucille. So watching sports, and then last one, I alluded to it earlier, is there's a chore that I actually really enjoy, and I consider it self-care.
I am super intrigued right
and
now.
it's actually mowing the lawn.
Really?
I like mowing the lawn.
I'm so glad you told me this, because sometimes I feel guilty because I used to mow the lawn.
Right.
And then when you came in the house, it was like, you know, I think we have this perception that like it's the male's role to mow the lawn, but I actually don't mind it either.
Right.
And I always feel like, man, should I help you mow the lawn?
No, I actually really enjoy it.
That makes me feel really happy then.
Well, so it gives me, again, it takes an hour or so to do the lawn, and I'm a guy, so I like my yard to look
Are
a
you
certain.
a guy?
Yeah, I'm a guy. I'm a dude.
Let's get that out there.
I'm a dude.
You're a dude.
Yeah, and so I really like how, you know, I want my yard to look nicely, and when I'm out there, I'm actually making sure I'm cutting straight lines in the yard. Like I look at a baseball. I look at a baseball field, and I'm like, look at the beautiful lines that they do when they mow the grass, and I'm like, I got to try to replicate that in my yard.
If you ever go outside with a pair of scissors and I'm
that's
snipping,
never
I
happening.
think I might be like, all right, Nick.
I'm not that
that's
not that
enough.
crazy about it, but you know, it's I put my headphones in. You know, I'm listening to some good music. You know, I'm mowing the lawn, trimming, and all that good stuff, and you know, even some basic home improvements I find is self-care when I can
Painting?
put something together. Well, painting's fun for the first couple hours, and then after you've done just the trim, you're like, am I done yet? And then you have to put on a second coat, and it's just like, why did I get myself into this
Thank
project?
goodness we're done painting
But
for a very long time.
you can really appreciate the room, or when the project's finished, and you know, there's nothing more gratifying than successfully putting something together and it looking great and doing exactly what you wanted to do, or if it exceeds your expectations. So
True chat.
I find that to be, you know, another self-care activity for me. And you guys might think I'm crazy. I don't give a shit. I like doing it.
I don't think you're crazy, and I almost wish we would have communicated this like earlier, because knowing that you enjoy certain chores makes me feel better about, you know, you doing them. Yeah. I don't feel as guilty. And it's not like I felt guilty. It's just one of those things where I was like, should I offer to help? You know, but knowing that you enjoy mowing the lawn is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, it's fun for me.
I'm glad we had this
it's
conversation.
Not a chore.
Glad we're
it's
doing
not
this
a chore.
podcast,
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely. So let's get into some benefits and how self-care has benefited you personally, Jilly.
Wow. I mean, I feel healthy and happy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being my best self. You know, emotionally, physically, my mind is my spirit is happy, and then I feel like that is, you know, overflowing to people in my life. You know, my kids when I'm teaching, Lucille, you, my family, my friends. So just feeling really great. Like, I love waking up every morning. It's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like another benefit has been communication. You know, when I'm feeling really good, I feel like I'm feeling confident in my body and myself doing all those activities for me. I feel more confident and being open and real with you and communicating, and so I'm not holding any anger or aggression or confusion in. I'm just like, hey, Nick, like, this is bothering me. What do you think? Like, I just feel like our relationship has benefited from this, our marriage.
I agree.
Sex, romance, like, just talking about it and being, it's not like a topic that's, you know, should I do this? Does he want this position? I don't know. will he like
I'm
this?
like Nike, just do it.
It's like, hey babe, tell me what you want. How do you want me tonight?
What you really, really want.
Yeah. What do you think would be spunky tonight? So just being open and real, it makes me feel like taking care of myself makes me feel confident about whatever. Like, so I'm not afraid to talk to you about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are afraid to talk about sex with their significant other. It shouldn't be like that. You should be like really open about it. And I feel like I've, used to hold back, but now that you're like asking more pointed questions, you're like, yeah. What do you want to do?
I think you were surprised by the text message you got yesterday.
I didn't know how to answer it, but yeah, it was cool.
I texted him yesterday because I really wanted him to get excited about our date night in, and I said, what would be really sexy for you tonight? What can I do that would like really turn you on? And his response was
W-2. We could do our taxes.
Taxes. And I'm like, really? Taxes turn you on?
It was later in the day, and I just mentioned that I had gotten my W-2 and that we could do taxes tomorrow. And you're like, that's not sexy.
But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm feeling really empowered and more confident lately. So I'm just like, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I dig it.
Yeah. And I'm open to experimenting. And, I think it helps. I think self-care helps us have a great routine. Like we infuse self-care activities throughout our day and we have a good rhythm, but there's still room for spontaneity, which I love.
Absolutely.
So just, having that space to just be adventurous. And it's not like, oh, I do the same thing every day all the time. No, like we mix it up and make it fun.
You have to.
Like, I think it's important to have a rhythm, but you have to have some surprises in there too.
Exactly.
If you like surprises, that is. Some people
like
don't.
Surprises. So yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think you kind of covered both personally and as a couple there.
I guess so.
It's kind of, and I think the same thing, with date nights and homemade cocktails, it's a time for us to, we have.
Do we sound like alcoholics? Because we're really not, guys.
No, we're not. But, when we do go out, we have great conversations. And it's, maybe the alcohol helps a little bit. But, I mean, I think it's good. And I think, it gives us a chance to be real and honest with each other. And, it helps us let down our guard maybe a little bit and open up to each other. So I think it's been really beneficial. And we've learned a lot about each other. Not only, and even this podcast, we've learned a lot about each other.
Well, like
right
today,
now we're
I
just
learned so many things about you.
We're drinking coffee right now, so we're able to be a little bit more open and honest with each other with this too. So self-care is definitely extremely beneficial for the health of our relationship, the health of our family, our productivity at work, our productivity and as a parent. It helps with every aspect of our lives.
And I think overall it builds our confidence and self-esteem so that whatever we decide to do, we don't care about what other people think or their judgments.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so vital. Like you got to do what's best for you and not give a shit about what other people think or what they say or what the norm is or what the system is telling you to do. Like you do you.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
I agree.
I think Lucille just farted.
No, I think she did too. But I think awesome. That I used to be like that. I used to give a shit about what other people thought about me, the actions that I took. And I think it's really been the last year that I've really changed and are doing more things for myself, not giving a shit about what other people think. And I think a lot of it is
I'm proud of you.
You've done that too.
I've seen your transition though. It's kind of cool to
being
see.
Being a dad kind of makes you not give a shit either. Like, my concern is raising this girl and making sure that she's going to be the best person that she wants to be. Not who I want her to be, not who you want her to be, but guide her to be the person that she wants to be and makes her happy. So that's what I give a shit about now. And it's not what other people think of me or whatever like that. If you want to be my friend, that's great. I'm a positive person. I want to make sure that I'm surrounded by positive people. So if you have something negative to say, I don't care. I really don't.
I love that attitude.
Yeah.
All right.
So
trying to get
I
on
think
the boob
what
again.
we want to do is get into some resources. And the first one that I wanted to kind of lead everybody to is my wife's website, thecleanandsimplelife.com, because both Jill and I have written blogs about self-care.
I almost forgot about that.
You wrote one about self-care during pregnancy, I believe.
I think you're right.
So I thought that was a really cool one.
Was that the one about staying sane with a newborn?
It may have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there might be a couple on that topic, but
we'll have it in the show notes. We'll have
Very
a link
cool.
to both of those blog posts.
Cool,
It'll
babe.
have, I expand a little bit more upon the self-care activities that I discussed earlier. But yeah, there's some really great resources there. Jill, I think you have a couple people you wanted to shout out to as well.
I do. I have 2 really great resources, and the first one is by Consciously Clean.
And this is Kimberly, correct?
This is Kimberly.
All right.
Consciously Clean is with the K too.
Yes. And that'll be in the show notes. We'll link to her Instagram.
But I think a lot of people forget when it comes to self-care that sleep is so crucial.
Right.
And she has this great blog post just about her post about sleep. It just pretty much states like how crucial it is to optimal health, and that sometimes a good rest is truly all you need to feel better. I think sometimes people forget about that. You could be feeling really crappy, sick, ill, stressed, overwhelmed, but have you really evaluated what your sleep situation's like?
Right.
So benefits of quality sleep. Sleep increases energy while heightening alertness and focus, strengthens your immune system. Who wants to be sick all the time? Not me. Improves your mood, increases your libido.
Ooh, I dig that.
It can decrease the amount of calories or sugar you consume during the day, which I thought was very enlightening. And some people require lots of sleep and some people don't. So it's all about really listening to your body and doing, like, if you feel tired, take a nap. If you don't feel tired, don't take a nap. I don't think there's any pressure of sleep, just to make sure that you get it in whenever you can and whenever your body needs it, to listen to your body. So if you're running on less sleep, it's going to eventually catch up to you. And when it does, it can seriously wreck your system, man.
Right.
And it can affect your whole life. So, it's going to help with disease and injuries and accidents. And, it can help with mental clarity and adrenal fatigue. Like, there's so many positives and there's so many negatives if you don't get enough sleep. But yeah, some things to help you, like, get yourself back on cycle and to make sure you're getting in sleep is just to look at what you're eating. Nutrition affects your sleep. Environment. Clutter affects your sleep.
Clutter. Didn't we do
Chaos.
an episode on clutter?
We did.
Yeah.
So nutrition, environment, these are all things that affect your sleep, and you might not even realize it. And then just being consistent about moving your body, because that affects your hormones. I know when I was doing high intensity workouts very frequently, it was too much stress. So I think sometimes we forget that you can move too much and that can affect your stress levels, which can affect your sleep too.
Right.
So just making sure that you're balancing food, environment, movement, so you have just better quality sleep and so you're getting it in. So her website is consciouslyclean.com, and I know we will put that in the show notes for sure. So check out my girl Kimberly. She's got a lot of other great tips for health and just overall wellness, which is awesome. Our second resource is from Blissful Mind.
And this is Catherine.
This is Catherine. And she has 3 habits for self-care, and I love her 3 habits. And I don't really think of these. I didn't think of these before, but they're absolutely vital when you are doing your self-care activities, whatever they may be, is setting boundaries.
Ooh.
And Lucille agrees.
Yeah.
So just setting boundaries with yourself and others is necessary for protecting your time. And I like that you use the word protecting, because you do. You have to protect your time and energy. And you have to have clear boundaries, or else you're going to say yes to everything. So I think just making sure that you have those boundaries and you say no to the things and people if it's not going to be a hell yeah for you. So if it's not going to be a hell yeah, this is going to be awesome for me, my body, my mind, my soul, then just say no thanks. So just setting boundaries and sticking to them. And just do things that make your blood pump. You know what I mean? Like,
gets you excited.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Like jubilation over obligation.
I like that.
For sure.
Very cool.
So setting boundaries, discipline. Discipline means that you don't push aside the things that you need for yourself. So if you really enjoy getting that yoga class in, don't put it off for something else just because you feel bad or there's something else that popped up. And, I don't think you should feel guilty about it. Like, if you need that, then do it. Like,
yeah.
So just stick to your boundaries and not letting things slide. I think practicing self-discipline is just a sign that you really respect yourself.
That's awesome.
And you need to respect yourself, or else you're not going to respect anything else. On consistency. So when you're consistent with your actions and your habits and you have a good rhythm, you can incorporate your self-care practices into your daily routine. And like we said, things don't have to be separate. It's not like work time, yoga time or walking time. It can be infused throughout your
absolutely
day,
be incorporated,
and just make it a part of your lifestyle and your daily rhythm. And there's just no excuses, and don't give a shit about what people say or think, or don't feel weird about it. Just be comfortable with yourself and doing what's best for you, because you know yourself best. And I keep saying that, but it's so true.
It is.
So those, and her website is blissfulmind.com.
The Blissful Mind.
Oh, thank you. Theblissfulmind.com. And she's also on Instagram as Blissful Mind.
The Blissful Mind.
Why am I keep forgetting that? The Blissful Mind. And we will definitely tag them in the show notes and put their websites in there. And thank you, ladies, for letting me share your amazing resources.
We're very grateful. Thank you so much. So, Jilly, you ready to get into that quote of the day?
Yay!
Let's do it.
Quote of the day today is by Howard Washington Thurman. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then go and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
That's great. I can't agree with that more. It'd be a much better place if everybody was their best selves and felt alive and was just doing the things that makes them happy, what makes the world happy.
And the thing is, if you serve yourself the best you can, you're going to serve others the best you can.
Exactly.
And start small, create momentum to create that cascading acceleration of a sense of empowerment to get you like, this is me. I don't care what other people think. I'm going to do what's best for me, because your life should revolve around being excited to wake up in the world. If it's not, then why are you here? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Change it. When you're excited to be alive, you make positive change just by your energy. And it creates that ripple effect that I talked about before. And you can't see it, but it's totally there. So, yeah. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, people. Start today.
Wow. I like that. And I totally resonate that. I really feel like it's always those things. You can't take of others unless you take care of yourself first. And I don't think there's truer words that are spoken. So if we're all looking at taking care of ourselves and not worrying about other people, and it's more about not worrying about what other people think, because we're here because we want to help people. And so we do want to help people, but we've taken care of ourselves first, and that's allowing us to put this podcast on, or share our experiences, and hopefully help some people out and give people perspective and help them start thinking more intentionally about their actions and what they're doing in life, and thinking intentionally about self-care.
And whether you know it or not, you're putting out energy into the world, guys. So put out good energy.
Positive vibes.
We need more of that, for sure.
100%.
Lucille agrees.
So with that, we are going to wrap up here. We want to thank everybody for listening. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody who you might think would be, you might get some benefit out of it.
Or who likes babies
and
just wants to listen to them cry and whine throughout the podcast.
And, make sure to subscribe, get that notification from when the new podcast comes out. We come out with one every Tuesday. And again, we are very grateful and appreciate everybody listening, and we will see you next week.
See you later, guys.
We want to thank everybody for listening today. Please be sure to subscribe and sign up to receive notifications so you know when the next episode is live. If you like today's episode and know someone who could benefit from the topic we covered, please share it with them. And if you have any suggestions for us or want to chime in on today's topic, you can email us at simplifiedchaospodcast@gmail.com, and that's chaos with a K, or send us a comment on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and we will see